Hello, hello. Today's January 26th, 2023. And the word of the day is self-love. And self-love to me is, if you don't have something to compare it to, like let's say you grew up in a family that wasn't so loving, or you don't have something to compare what self-love is. What does that mean? And I did not know what self-love was. In fact, I thought it was like going to the spa, or not that it's not. Self-love is not just not only taking care of yourself externally, like taking a shower. Some people have a hard time taking care of themselves physically, hygiene, for example. Yet others, that's not an issue for them. And when it comes to self-love, even though we have the physical love that we can give ourselves, everything on the physical level, there is also the spiritual level of self-love. And I feel like, you can work on the outside of self-love and it can be complementary to the inside, or work on the inside and it can be complementary to the outside. And in my personal experience, I really didn't know what love was until I experienced divine love, where I had a personal experience where I saw the way God saw me, which looks nothing like the love that I've seen in the world, if you will. And so my perspective of self-love, or my journey, has become to love myself in a way that source, God, universe loves me. Well, in order for me to love myself on that level, I've got to be able to have an insight or an understanding of what that love looks like. And if I don't, how can I replicate it towards myself? I can only go based on what I know of love, mentally, what I think about love. But truly, until I am able to connect and have that insight of what that looks like for me, and I say this for me, but it's also for you because we are one. And so until you connect with you and see what divine love has for you as loving yourself, it's just not at the highest, most profound level of self-love. And as I mentioned before in my videos, that you can only give someone something that you already have. So the deeper love that you have for yourself, that you're able to see that God, source, the universe has for you, the more you're able to apply that to yourself and your life, and the more you're able to be that presence in the world and reflect it to other people. And that's my goal here. That's my intention for my life, is self-realization. That is to embody my divinity, which is pure love. And so I want to share kind of like a little story that happened to me the other day. And I did this meditation on spirit team. And it was actually quite shocking to me that this revelation happened, because I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't even in that mode during that day. It's not something I was thinking about. And so I went into this meditation and I was like, okay, let me try this. Let me call on my spirit team. let me call upon one of my spirit guides. And what happened with me is I called forth a spirit guide and I asked him what his name was. And to my surprise, he said his name was Adam. Well, if you know anything about my background, I did not grow up in a Christian society. I grew up in an Islamic society where I really didn't know much about Christianity or like the story of the Bible at all. But for me, it's all about connecting the dots and what makes sense to me, and how when I had my awakening with love, such intoxicating love, that not only did I fall in love with what I call God, what happened is I fell in love with me. And I didn't know what to do with it because it's nothing like anything that I've experienced or had seen in my life. And so with this angel or that came through, this spirit, Adam, and I started thinking, okay, well, Adam is like the first, according to, you know, the Bible, or if you want to say mythology or history of man, Adam was an incarnate of God in its purity, without seeing like sin. To me, like sin is seeing like the negativity of the world. And like he was pure God in form. And so I found that very interesting, that spirit came to me as one of my guides, because that is my mission on the planet, is to self-realize my divinity and to help others do the same. And so self-love is such, it's the core of it all. And it takes self-mastery. It takes mastering your energy and knowing what that looks like for you. No one is going to be able to tell you what love looks like to you other than you. And that's why it's such a self journey. Each of us can be an example, a mirror for one another, and a supportive community for one another. But all our experiences of love and how we express them in the world is going to look unique to each and every individual. However, it is universal. All people understand the frequency of love. And so to bring it down to like the human physical level, what I see as self-love is being interested in everything that I have going on, and not negating or making small what I am doing or what another person is doing in their lives. And part of self-love is appreciating myself, because basically the way I experienced it is I am God, God is me. I am love, love is me. And so the characteristics of love are appreciation. The characteristics of loving myself is being compassionate, not critical towards myself, not judgmental towards myself or other people. It's not that I don't have boundaries, because I do not believe that I'm here to be a doormat, or I would encourage anyone else to be a doormat. In fact, I am very quick to remove myself from places that I do not feel like I'm being honored, because basically to me, I'm saying that that's okay to treat me that way. It's okay to treat divinity, our holiness that way when I remain in circumstances that are not honoring who I am. And so when it comes to self-love, it's a personal journey. It's something that you have to do on your own. And it's what I've had to do. And I'm not one of those people that says, do this and I don't do it. It's just that, like, I have my own journey and you have your own. And that's why I created these videos, so that not only can I share my journey, you can have a reference point if you're so inclined to be on this journey with me. And I would love that. However, I know very well not every single person will awaken to their divinity and the love and light that they are and become self-realized. Maybe not in this lifetime, but I know for me, this is a reality and a truth that I tune into and work on a daily basis. And it's not like you're ever going to reach perfection. It's like there's layers and levels to self-love. And there's many dynamics. There's mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, financial. So there's many areas to work on. I mean, they'll keep you busy for sure. But also love has a frequency. Like, so if you've ever read about David Hawkins, I believe the author's name is, and basically they can actually measure frequencies. And it goes from, like, death is like 0, guilt and shame are like 10 and 20. Love is at like 500. Enlightenment is at 1,000, a frequency of 1,000. So holding the vibration of love for yourself, you're vibrating at a 500. And they've done, I guess, research on how many people get affected by you holding a vibration of 500. And I think it's about 750,000 people within your vicinity. And they've done other research about, like, meditators who went into New York City and meditated. I can't remember how much time they meditated, but basically the meditation that they performed in that city reduced crime rates so significantly that it was observed. And so why does self-love matter? Well, obviously, it aligns us with who we truly are. It creates more love in society, and it allows things to flourish. And it brings us life. And so I didn't always feel like that about myself. In fact, I very much disliked myself based on where I came from, how I was raised, how I was perceived myself, how I looked at myself. And I saw no way out, that I really would say I had no self-love, that I didn't know love. And I think that's why my awakening happened, because I was so ready to check out of this place where I felt was devoid of a love that I knew I came from. Somewhere in my memory, I had remembered that there was a love that was beyond my immediate environment and life. And because I was curious and I searched and I asked, I tuned in to that love. and it changed my entire life. And today, my walk has been to embody this love. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because what I realized in that is that you can too. You have the ability to embody the love that you're here to be and how that is to express. But first and foremost, you must love yourself. It's kind of like that airplane. When you get on the airplane and they say, if you are traveling with a child, make sure that you put on in case of an emergency, make sure you put on your mask first before you secure your child. It's because you have to take care of yourself first. You have to love yourself first. And then you can love other people. And if you can't love yourself with where you're at right now, be around people who can love you. That works too. And allow that to lift you up to where you can see yourself through their eyes and through the eyes of love. And in that way, you develop self-love. And I wanted to say, like, boundaries are really important when it comes to self-love. And that has been something that I've been aware of in the past, that I'm not the best at it. However, I've gotten better over time, and I continue to get better over time around boundaries and self-love, and what self-love is to me, and how to keep those boundaries intact for me to be able to feel good about myself and be the person that I'm called to be. And if I'm not loving myself, not only am I not supporting myself, I'm also reflecting that and being a channel for whatever that dysfunction is energetically in society. And I'm conscious about that. And that's why I do the work on myself, so I can not leak that out off to other people. And like I said, it's not like any of us is perfect. It's just that the whole point is we're in a evolution process to embody the love and light that we are for global consciousness. Because there's personal consciousness, and then there's global consciousness. And one person can only do so much, but you place a community of people who are evolving into consciousness, their best self, their most enlightened self, their most loving self. And we have a world that is completely transformed. And so as I move through my life and in incorporating self-love, it's past the physical things, because I'm very thankful that I do have the physical things. Like, I have a home, I have a car, I have clothes, I have food, I'm safe. Now it's become more about internal things. How can I love myself more mentally, emotionally, spiritually? And who can help me as well, because having the support you need when you're going through an evolution is really important, because there's people who are holding a greater field of love for you to step into. So truth, love and truth. So you can step in and shed the layers that are holding you in bondage. Love breaks the bondage, and it doesn't matter what bondage you're in. And I truly believe that love heals everything. It opens the door to all of life. And forgiveness is huge. I know I've talked about this before, but it comes up because I did not know how to forgive. And because I didn't come from a background that is about forgiveness. And I'm talking over 20 minutes here. I didn't really intend for this video to be this long, but I'll finish up real quick. When it comes to forgiveness, I didn't come from a background of forgiveness, so I didn't really know how to forgive. And I didn't even know what grace was. Because in some countries, it is still an eye for an eye. If you steal something, you will get your arm cut off. If you have sex out of wedlock, you could die. You could be stoned. And when I learned about grace, I learned that I'm not perfect, but it's not what I do or don't do that is worthy of love. It's already given. I am loved regardless. It's just that I have to receive the love that's already there. And the whole thing is when we make mistakes that we feel that are unforgivable, we hold that love distant from us because we feel like we're unworthy. And the bottom line is you are always worthy of self-love, and you can receive it and give it to yourself at any time when you're ready. And I think I'm done for now about self-love. This topic can go on and on with me. And so thank you for listening today. I appreciate you being here. And I just want to say that I love you as much as I possibly can in this moment of time. And I hope that my love continues to grow so I can love at a deeper level and to really reflect the love that I see within me, that I experienced within me, and allow it to be felt and experienced by anyone and everyone who comes in contact with my video or any of my contact, or comes in contact with me in person. Thank you for listening today. Have an amazing day wherever you're at in the world, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.